Check, check.
Between Mercer Bears and your Lipscomb Bisons. Sweet tonight's starting lineups. First for the Bears. Goalkeeper number 0, Trevor McMullen. Defender number 6, Usman Jabang. Midfield number 10, Dylan Gaither. Defender number 12, Suku Uga. Forward number 15, Chad Eldridge. Midfield number 16, Nick Wanzer. Forward number 18, Kadeem Ugar. Midfield number 20, Liam Coxett. Defender number 21, Woody Pondeka. Defender number 23, Brian Jackson. And forward number 26, Michael Illy. The Bears are led by head coach Brad Russo and assisted by Tony Felbino and Robert Artega. And now the starting lineup for your Lipscomb Bisons. A junior goalkeeper from England, number 1, Michael Sibley. A junior defender from Norway, number 4, Scott Golden. A junior defender from Denmark, number 5, Honore Kalala. A freshman midfielder from Germany, number 6, Carlo Cavallaro. A sophomore midfielder from Germany, number 8, Luca Naumann. A junior forward from Costa Rica, number 10, Alejandro Lopez. A junior forward from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, number 11, Burl Shepard. A sophomore forward from England, number 12, Javon Smith. A sophomore defender from Nashville, number 19, Will Turner. A sophomore forward from Trinidad and Tobago, number 20, Tyrese Spicer. And a senior defender from Norway, number 29, Noah Golden. The Bisons are led by head coach Charles Mayo in his 16th season, assisted by Stephen Lunny, Michael Bledsoe, Daniel Muir, and Director of Operations, Henrik Coleman. At this time, we ask you please rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the flag in the southeast corner of the field for the playing of our national anthem.
Bison!
Let's go, Liam!
There you go. Behind my head.
One final non-conference game remains as we get a little Tuesday night soccer action in Nashville, Tennessee. Lipscomb, the Bisons, hosting the Mercer Bears out of the Southern Conference. Lucas Panzica, Noah Severson with you on this chilly Tuesday evening. Turning tonight as the lights are shining bright over Lipscomb Academy's soccer facility. And Noah, one final opportunity for these teams to get onto the field before turning their attention to that last non-conference game and then the conference tournament.
It's a big stage, got two talented teams, and they're still playing for a lot. You're talking about two teams with an opportunity to win their respective conferences and advance to NCAA tournaments. So this match certainly kind of has that tournament-type feel. High expectations for both of these teams going into the final week of the regular season. Two programs with a lot of history facing each other, but they haven't met since 2016 to head coaches who have been doing it for a long time, so it should be a fun one tonight.
Former conference foes going head-to-head in the 18th meeting between Mercer and Lipscomb as Liam Coxhead stands over the ball for the Mercer Bears. He'll get it rolling, 11 men aside, in motion, and the Mercer Bears going long for the first action inside the first minute. We'll go down the starting lineups. The Mercer Bears, the visitors, at 7-6-1, 3-1-1 in Southern Conference play. In goal, Trevor McMullen, Usman Jabang, Dylan Gaither, Sekou Agard, Chad Eldridge, Nick Wanzer, Kadeem Agard, Liam Coxhead, Bryant Jackson, and Michael Ely. And for the Lipscomb Bisons, as they look to get it cleared away on the first threat posed by the Bears. In goal is Michael Sibley, Scott Golden, Honore Kalala, Carlo Cavalar, Luca Nauman, Alejandro Lopez, Burl Shepard, Javon Smith, William Turner, Tyrese Spicer, and Noah Golden. The starting 11 for the Bisons at 8-3-2, 4-2 in the ASUN, coming off of a 3-0 blanking at Jacksonville just a few days ago. Here is Tyrese Spicer, trying to slip it in ahead for Javon Smith, who has been on a bit of a scoring streak for the Bisons. Can they get him going here tonight as the first offside flag of the night? We'll find the Bears offside and a Lipscomb free kick.
Now watch for that Mercer back line to send those big, deep through balls ahead. This is a very tough Lipscomb back line, and so Mercer's just going to try to keep up the pressure. They're not afraid to take those home run swings. And I think Mercer's okay with getting a couple flags raised on him until they time up that run perfectly.
They have the size, don't they, in the midfield to win those 50-50 balls. As here's a foot race between Michael Ely and the Lipscomb back line. Specifically, Usman Jabang, the midfielder at 6'2", 162. You'll see him roaming around in the middle third. Try and bring down some of those long balls emanating from the Mercer back line. Near side, this is William Pondeca, the freshman, triggering it in. Backwards for Kalala. Lipscomb now just clearing it away. Trying to find its footing here as it's a nifty touch by Nauman to control it towards Lopez. Golden between the legs.
That was nasty.
Of Pondeca. It sets up Smith, who finds Lopez on the backheeled return pass. It wins Lipscomb a corner kick, and there's the first real exchange in the final third by the Bisons to set up a corner kick for maybe the first opportunity.
How about the creativity there from Alejandro Lopez? This is a guy who has played in a lot of matches for head coach Charles Morrow. You know, began this season kind of coming off the bench, and lately, though, he's been in the starting 11 for the last 5 matches now, getting the start for Coach Morrow, and he is electric, especially when he's got the ball at his feet.
Here is Lopez at the corner flag. He'll send it in. Good ball, back post, and it's a confident punched away clearance by McMullen. But does allow the Bisons to reset with Luca Nauman. Now settling into some control here is Lipscomb. Golden. Lofted ball collected cleanly by McMullen. Coming off a confident performance, Trevor McMullen, 4 saves in the win against Lipscomb's crosstown rivals, the Belmont Bruins. It was a huge win for the Bears. Actually prevented Belmont from clinching the regular season Southern Conference title. 3-2 in overtime for the Mercer Bears. Dylan Gaither able to slip it ahead. It's squared across, but Kalala is there for the Bisons. Allows them to come back and reset a bit.
One thing that's really impressive about this Lipscomb back line is you look at how many games they've played together, that experience. They just don't get rattled. You see Kalala there kind of backed up against his own goal, 2 black jerseys around him, and he just kind of calmly shoots it away, lets his defense get set up.
Falls to the feet of a guard, and he's just disrupted enough by Kalala as Lipscomb tries to formulate a bit of a break here, and Therese Spicer will try to use that speed to launch it. Here comes Lipscomb in the home whites, having to hit the reset button. Back with Golden. Turner has it clipped out for a throw-in.
Just to go back a couple of moments, what a sequence there from Burl Shepard. A beautiful slide tackle, quickly hops to his feet to get it to Spicer, and Mercer sending it back into the midfield, but that was a nice little 1-2 sequence there for Shepard.
2 players sliding in together. No real collision to speak of as it does fall again to Golden. Has space, finds Lopez on the right foot. Ball placed squarely on the ground is hit back out for a Lipscomb corner. So a lively start for the Bisons wearing their home whites with the purple numbers. And it's the 3rd corner kick of the evening.
Golden delivers a beautiful ball from these set pieces. He's got quite the leg. He can put the ball on a dime wherever he wants it.
Here it comes. Falls a little short. Lopez just trying to chest it down and does well to somehow keep control. Golden may have another opportunity for service here. He'll try to find it on his left foot. Bounces right back to Cavalar. Lopez trying to take a man on. Scott Golden wearing the captain's band. Turner makes the run down the touchline. It's instead poked inside to Shepard. Eventually try to find Turner down near the corner. He's unable to keep it in. Mercer finding a little bit of momentum here. They have not lost since October 2nd. And a 3-0 loss to UNC Greensboro. They've collected 4 consecutive wins over VMI, Georgia Southern, Jacksonville, and now Belmont.
Yeah, their offense is really clicking. 12 goals over that 4-match win streak. 2 teams playing really well at the right time of the year, right? Lipscomb winning back-to-back matches. Mercer on this 4-match win streak. This is when you want to be playing your best soccer as you get into the final week of the regular season and then into, of course, conference tournament play.
Certainly want to get into that regular season finale on a good note, especially for Lipscomb, who could be playing for an ASUN title up next against Central Arkansas.
That's going to be fun. This Saturday, this place is going to be rocking. Big stakes in that match as well.
No doubt. Top 2 teams in the league going head-to-head. A few other conference implications happening around the ASUN on that evening, but Lipscomb in a position where they will give themselves a great opportunity if they can find a W at the end of that game. But for now, we're inside the first few minutes here against Mercer, still scoreless. Largely been Lipscomb possession here in the early stages.
Got to see the difference in style, at least so far. Mercer liking that lightning quick counter, those big strikes. Lipscomb kind of likes to possess, work it slowly up towards the penalty area.
McMullen, the sophomore, skies it near midfield. All the way back to Kalala.
It's a dangerous pass right there.
Right across.
Got away with it.
Face a goal. And now Mercer, after forcing a turnover, has it taken away by Nauman and won by Lipscomb for a throw-in.
Nauman's such a big part of what Lipscomb loves to do both offensively and defensively. 1 goal, 2 assists this year. The sophomore out of Germany. He's going to be in charge tonight of orchestrating a lot of what Lipscomb wants to impose on Mercer. He's made a couple of big defensive plays already.
On the far side, the Mercer Bears looking for the head of Jabang, using that 6'2 frame to head it straight down towards Sibley. Doesn't pose too much of a threat, and Lipscomb trying to get back on the front foot of this game. Shepard bundles it down the line for Smith, overruns it just a touch, but in control here as he tries to work his way around and gets dragged down in the process. That was William Pondeka, the little extracurriculars, to win Lipscomb a free kick.
See the way that he split that double team? He is so quick, so agile. And, I mean, Pondeka just had to commit the foul there. Otherwise, it was going to be Smith one-on-one with McMullen.
So much speed in this Lipscomb front three. Hard for any back line to deal with. A lot of times you see good players like William Pondeka having to resort to fouls like that near the final third. Quick chat between our official and junior midfielder Liam Coxhead. Noah Golden will tee it up again. 6 assists this season, leads the A-Sun.
And a lot of those assists have come on these types of set pieces. Corners, kicks right outside the box. His brother Scott Golden, the recipient of a lot of these balls.
It's Nauman who sends it in with his left foot. It'll fall out to Turner. Searching for an angle. Shepard, a quick combination for Spicer, who just couldn't find the angle for the shot. He'll let him fly whenever he can. Therese Spicer leads the A-Sun in shots with 37 on the year. And here's Javon Smith. Ranging into the box, looking for the angle on his right foot. Gets it into Lopez, who fires, can't get it on target. Just drifts over the crossbar of McMullen's goal.
Best chance of the night for Lipscomb. Nearly a wonderful hookup there. Lopez wants it back. That left foot strike just a little too steep, but you see already the creativity in the attacking third, those quick one-touch passes. They are so good in terms of their vision and in terms of creating shots for themselves. And Lopez nearly put the Bisons on the board first.
Certainly has been a wealth of options on that front three for head coach Charles Morrow. With someone like Bakari Bagayoko not even in the lineup to start. 3 goals, 4 assists on the year. Another quick combo to Spring Cavalar. But too much on it for Javon Smith, who gives the thumbs up. Pondeka will put it into play. There's Golden. Lopez, Smith. Good quick passing by Lipscomb. Lopez is just beaten to the goal line by Pondeka. Offside flags up anyway.
I almost wonder if Lipscomb got a little too crowded there at the top of the 18. Saw 4 white jerseys in the vicinity, and that kind of allowed the Mercer defense to clump up. Allowed one guy to defend multiple Bisons there. You like the idea, though, trying to get it inside maybe to Lopez. Had that last shot attempt that was just a few inches above the bar.
Over half an hour to play in the first half. Collision, no whistle. Man goes down for Lipscomb, and it's won back quickly by Spicer. Does result in a free kick for Mercer. Slip down the right flank. Left-footed try, goes straight into the chest of William Turner. And now Lipscomb try for another break.
Yeah, can they switch fields here?
Does end up at the feet of Noah Golden. Oncoming pressure wins the ball. It's Kadeem Agard winning it back for Mercer and tries to float it in back post. Doesn't quite have anybody there. It's out for a Mercer throw-in. So now the Bears try to put something together.
I think that's Eli on the far side for Mercer, the redshirt senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia. He's been involved certainly on the offensive side, playing on that right wing for Coach Brad Ruzzo. He's got those long sleeves. You kind of need those long sleeves on a night like tonight. It's been chilly. This is true soccer weather, I think.
Coxhead, who opted to go without the long sleeves, have another throw-in. Much closer to the corner flag on this try for Mercer. They just want to get it in and try and get ahead on it. It's launched in the vicinity of Jabang, falls to his chest, and I think a handball is what's going to give Lipscomb a free kick in its own box.
Well, I wonder, too, if he kind of pushed off of the Lipscomb defender there, kind of got his arms extended to create that space.
Well, that'll be their target man, Usman Jabang, the junior out of McDonough, Georgia, kind of breaking out this season, 4 goals and 5 assists. And just 1 goal to his name last year for the Bears.
Yeah, he's been big. You mentioned those 4 goals this season, only had 3 goals in his prior 2 seasons combined as a Bear. So he's certainly become more offensive-minded, more of a focal point on the attack for Mercer, and it's paid off this season.
Good close off by Kalala, but it's eventually at the feet of Jabang, who runs into a crowd of Bisons. And it's just launched ahead with no one there but Javon Smith as it falls safely to McMullen. Back and forth we go. Jabang with the oncoming run, and no flag goes up. The Bisons were all calling for one, almost expecting it. Michael Sibley has to clean everything up.
Lucas, I think that 2 Bears were offsides there, and I think they might have been caught off guard, the referees, just because of how far that ball traveled off the foot of the keeper, McMullen. I'll admit it's tough to keep track. You know, you're trying to keep that line when you're also looking across the field to see when the ball is going to leave the foot of the keeper, but kind of surprised to see no flag there.
Yeah, back and forth clearances kind of caught some guys out of position in Mercer. The big opportunity to at least get something on target. Golden. Kalala. Over the top. Straight into the head of Pondeka. This is Gaither.
Good run.
Launched forward, squared across for Jabang, and he kind of scuffs it over the goal line for a goal kick. So now Mercer's starting to settle in a little bit with some dangerous runs down the right flank, and Lipscomb on its heels for the first time tonight. That's Sekou Agard, the freshman, making things happen along the right side.
Yeah, it was a great run there for Mercer. Really good chance. Nice little underneath cross.
It is a Bears team that's not going to sit back. That's not exactly indicative of the way they've played all season, though that's kind of how the first 15 minutes panned out. 25 goals scored on the year, just 4 less than the Bisons, who've been among the best goal-scoring teams in the ASUN. Clock reads 27 minutes to play in half number 1. Mercer will retain possession. Coxhead. Headed backward by a guard, hoping Jabang would make that oncoming run, and it's blasted forward for Spicer.
Good win.
Here's Therese Spicer again, surging forward, and it's a line drive ball across the face of the net. rolling out.
Lopez is listed at 5'9", which might be a little bit generous. He adds a couple more inches, and that's a volley into the upper 90. That was a gorgeous service there from Spicer, a missile into the box.
Mercer with the throw-in, all the way back at the corner flag. Sent down the line on the near side. They're able to win it right back. Jabang wearing a captain's band tonight for the Bears. Kalala with the cutoff. Back with Golden. So often you see the Bisons hitting the reset button with Scott Golden, the two-time A-Sun Defender of the Year. His brother Noah with plenty of green grass to make that run on the near side, and the lofted ball had just a little too much on it. Wasn't able to control it cleanly. Allows Mercer the opportunity to win it back.
Yeah, a little too much on that pass from Cavalar. Otherwise, Golden would have had some green grass with which to roam.
William Turner. Shepard. Man on him was Gaither, who dispossesses him for the moment, but fell right back to Cavalar and Lipscomb. Back in business. Golden curls it in. Smith is there, and the half volley got away from him. Face in hands. Would love to have that one back as it skies over the goal.
Lucas, he was there, not a man within 6 feet of him. Smith saw that ball. I think his eyes got a little bit big and off the inside of his foot and a little too steep. That's a couple good chances now for the Bisons on those services from the sides. No goals yet.
And that one served up on a platter by Noah Golden. Incisive run by Ely. Lipscomb's clearance will allow them to recover some numbers here with 24 minutes left in the first 45. Liam Coxhead with the throw-in. We'll see if they opt for another long ball. Here it comes. Headed across. Lopez is the man there for Lipscomb. And could the Bison spring something here? Javon Smith, keeping his head up, looking for options, has to go backward to Golden. And again, to Sibley. Scott Golden. Shepard. Cavalar. Noah Golden. Shepard has to drift away from Ely, the man coming on from behind. And it's with Lopez. Alejandro Lopez goes into Smith. Smith on the left foot has it deflected into a bear, and it's clipped back out to Cavalar, who's able to control things again at the foot of Nauman.
Really good moments for Lipscomb over the past few minutes.
Golden in for Smith, who gets a good look at it. Offside flag was up as it rolled past the outstretched arms of McMullen and over the goal line.
Obviously, Smith was offside, but that shows you again the ability of Golden to put the ball in the perfect position for those trio of forwards, Spicer, Smith. I'm assuming we'll see Bagayoko at some point tonight when he comes in off the bench. And they love it when a guy like Noah Golden can make them look good, get the ball right where they need it to be in space.
Javon Smith has had some good moments and good service, looking for his third goal of the season. Lopez. Shepard. Turner was there calling for it. Shepard goes inside into Cavalar and into a turnover. And here comes Mercer. Tripped up, no whistle. Golden looking for the response and looked like he had a alley there to send it in towards Spicer, just a little off the mark. And some more end-to-end action here at Lipscomb.
Look at a guard turn the corner.
Jabang is there, and it is good work by Kalala in recovery to allow Sibley to have an easy scoop to end the danger. That was a guard. Continues to be a menace down the right flank.
Both these teams have some speed on the wings, don't they? We've seen Javon Smith kind of turn the corner on a left back like that. Just saw a guard do it for Mercer.
And although for Lipscomb, the speed, when you think of it, you think of Therese Spicer for the most part. A lot of that service has come from that right flank with Noah Golden coming down from his spot at right back. As it has been with Mercer, with a guard creating most of the danger. Gaither trying to bring it down, working well in a tight space. Dylan Gaither on the left foot has a go. It goes straight into Golden, and it's clipped just out. Offside flag goes up anyway. Would have negated whatever would have come from that play, but Dylan Gaither kind of showing his first spark. He is really a player to circle on the Mercer Bears. 8 goals this season, a pair of assists, was an all-SoCon first-teamer last year. Just hasn't really settled into this game, it feels like, until that moment.
That's a guy that you don't want to leave alone at the top of the box, though. That was a lot of space that he had to let fly that shot. You talk about those 8 goals. He's got 4 goals in his last 4 games. And as you kind of mentioned, been held in check, at least up until that point. Let's see if that last shot gets him going.
Now Burl Shepard gives to Smith, who has room. Goes far post. It's straight into McMullen, headed up. Still danger for Lipscomb. Smith surrounded by 2 different Bears, able to keep it in play, but it's cleared away for the moment. Shepard. Lopez has to go quickly, and he does to Smith. The return pass, just a little too far, and Mercer will try to split some Lipscomb lines here. Golden kind of showing off the speed on that recovery. Offside flag, back up.
Tell you what, Bryant Jackson, the center back for Mercer, really stood out on that last sequence. I mean, he was kind of a de facto goalie almost with his physical presence, able to clear it. And then that header right there, obviously Lipscomb was offside, but Bryant is a guy that's played in a lot of games, junior from Savannah, and he's going to be tested a lot. We talked about that in the open. These Lipscomb forwards really make you work the entire 90. So far, Jackson and co. have been up to the task.
Well, it's been a fun first half hour, hasn't it? Both teams going for it here. And you figure, why not? No conference repercussions. You want to end the non-conference slate with some firepower, some confidence. Certainly no reason to sit back. Not that either of these 2 teams do much of that anyway. Gaither with a quick turn. Ranges all the way to the corner, and he takes Golden with him. That's Pondeka. Gets it squarely in the middle of the field, and it's a long-range shot that goes straight into a Bison. It came off the foot of Coxhead. Mercer wanting a handball. They won't get it, and here comes Javon Smith on the other end. And he stood up well there as it's pushed out of play by Bryant Jackson.
I think that was Eldridge here on the near side who was kind of working on Smith, and that's not an easy guy, Smith, to keep in front of you and kind of work one-on-one like that. But Eldridge did his best, and he allowed his defense time to set up.
You're right. My mistake. That was Chad Eldridge covering up Smith as a back post ball is cleared out by the Bears. Another throw incoming. Shepard will leave it for Golden.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
Noah Golden finding a pocket of space, slowly threaded across, and just in reach of Trevor McMullen. But more good movement from Lipscomb in those tight spots.
Well, there's the tight spots, the quick passing on display once again, creating more and more opportunities for themselves. They are so sound, especially in the attacking third.
Kalala leaves an opportunity there, but it's not much made of it.
Yeah, Kalala gambled and Eli had a shot, just pushed it wide right.
And we'll have our first subs of the game made by both teams. Therese Spicer looking like, Javon Smith will leave the game for Lipscomb. He's replaced by Grossman. Couple of changes for Mercer that will get those to you the second they become official. But under 15 minutes to play in the half. No score yet, but it's been end-to-end here at Lipscomb. Two teams that scored 3 in their last outing alone. Quick turn by Lopez into Shepard. Back with Lopez on the left foot. Line drive ball just tucked inside and out past the near post. Do see Trevor Martineau now leading the line for the Mercer Bears, wearing number 9, playing the number 9 role, as well as Kevin Kim on the near side left flank for Mercer.
How about Martineau coming in off the bench? This is a guy that's been one of the best players in the SoCon the past few years. SoCon freshman and player of the year back in 2018, the first player to do that in the SoCon since '77, to be both the freshman and the player of the year. He's the active leader in goals in the conference. Let's see if he can provide a spark for the visitors.
Production has dipped a little bit this season. He's played in 10 matches, a pair of goals and a pair of assists. As here's Martineau, the veteran, distributing wide to a guard. Try to get it around Turner and resorted to fouling William Turner, the sophomore, for a Lipscomb free kick. Martineau did get back to his goal-scoring form not a week ago. This past weekend, he did score the game winner in overtime against Belmont. And they're hoping he can bring some of that magic here against another Nashville opponent.
Bisons have made a couple dangerous passes on the back line, trying to get it between each other. They haven't paid the price yet, but we'll keep an eye on that.
Kalala. Cavalar. Martineau using the fresh legs to apply the pressure as you see him range over towards Golden. Eldridge. Left foot diagonal ball straight into Turner. Some contact in the middle third. We'll give it right back to Lipscomb. Nauman certainly covering some ground.
Oh, yeah, you can kind of see that collision coming, huh? It's like a DB and a wide receiver both going for a ball over the middle. And whistle goes in favor of Lipscomb. But Nauman's a tough guy. He's taken his fair share of blows like that.
Come up in any type of German youth system, that'll get ingrained right into you. Nauman, who had some U17 appearances with the German national team in his youth. can hear Martineau shouting out to Jabang, big touch, go, telling his fellow forward to send it ahead in front of him and try to outrun somebody, but he opts to go backward. Down the line for a guard. Got the angle for the cross, finds it, falls to Jabang, and a hammer over the crossbar. Falls cleanly out for Sibley. Lipscomb will make another couple of changes. And I think that came off the foot of Kevin Kim.
It did. Oh, man, that was a great chance. You come in right off the bench, an opportunity to make your mark. And a big lead up. That ball trickled right to his right foot. He's still upset about it. I mean, he's got his hands on his face. Now he's clapping it up. That was a great chance for Mercer.
Would have been his second goal of the season had he gotten it on target and passed Sibley. So Lopez will exit, and in comes Bagayoko. 3 goals to his name this year, second in the ASUN in assists with 4. Marlon Grossman also in the game for Lipscomb as Burl Shepard made way. More room for a guard as Spicer closes down, but it's a nice cut in to square it up on the left foot. Jabang with the header on target, collected by Sibley, and that's his first real save of the evening with under 10 to play in the half.
He's a brick wall between the pipes. Another great chance for Mercer there. An open header and a breakdown for Lipscomb defensively, as there's no way that that cross should have been that open, and then to leave a guy free like that. Luckily, Bisons avoid going down 1-0 here shortly before the break.
Having a great junior season, isn't he, Michael Sibley? Hit a career high 7 saves twice this season. Even got himself an assist last year. Not a lot of goalies in this league that can say they've got one of those on the stat sheet across their career. It's against Central Arkansas last season. They'll face that same team coming up in a few days. Bagayoko. Kevin Kim leaves the throw-in for Pondeka. Kim goes down. Can somebody find the edge before the break here?
Certainly feels like both of these teams are knocking on the door, huh, Lucas? Lipscomb, especially, you know, that middle third of this first half, several good chances in the penalty area. And then over the past couple minutes, it's been Mercer really applying the pressure on the attack.
McMullen, the goalkeeper, tries to blast it into a dangerous area. Bagayoko, heavy touch. Has pressure coming. Has to fight off Pondeka, but it's won right back by Mercer. Gaither coming up from his defensive line, crawls it across the 6. And it's back for a Mercer throw-in.
Bears have figured something out here. On the attack, they're just throwing numbers up there. They've been creating some good chances.
Correction, that was Nick Wanzer with the creation there for the Bears. And Wanzer heads it straight down here. Golden. More quick passing from Lipscomb. And good work avoiding the turnover by Cavalar. One thing Lipscomb's been good at avoiding, at least for most of the season and tonight, those midfield turnovers that can kill you in a game like this. So end to end. Golden. Out for a corner kick. And the Bisons will push numbers forward. 6 to play in the opening half. It's the ASUN leader in assists. Noah Golden is sitting this one out.
Got him there as an option if Nauman wants to go that route.
Nauman with the service. It's there on the back post, squared up for Cavalar, but good work by Mercer to repel another Lipscomb wave. Kalala just tries to drop it in the bucket for Spicer, and a guard is able to backtrack. Foot race for Kevin Kim, and it's won by Sibley. Well, they certainly have the size advantage, don't they, the Mercer Bears?
Yeah, they do. They got a lot of height. They're physical, too, which is the way that Lipscomb likes to play. We've seen that all season long.
A few more changes. Therese Spicer and Luca Nauman will head out. So in comes Thomas Priest, a redshirt junior from Signal Mountain. Also the first appearance for Kyle Sutton tonight for the Bisons. Check that, it's Ryan Windquist in the game at midfield. Pondeka. Mercer still with it. Martineau creates an opportunity for himself, and again, Sibley able to smack it down standing up.
Talking about that size, Martineau, a perfect example, 6'4", 200 pounds. Kind of that big prototypical forward up the middle who can kind of create a shot for himself even when he's being draped by defenders.
Well, he's done it plenty of times before in his long Mercer career. Ball went out of play. 3.5 minutes for someone to find the lead before halftime.
Lucas, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up, we haven't seen Louis Robinson tonight. He started every single Lipscomb game this season, and we don't know if something maybe happened during the Jacksonville game, if an injury or whatever the case may be, but he has not made an appearance in this first half.
Robinson, who's been able to play a multitude of positions for Charles Morrow. That's cleaned up by McMullen. Another experienced player, 3 goals and 3 assists for him this season. Wonder if we'll see a Louis Robinson sighting by the end of the night.
Experience might be understating it a little bit. He's played 64 games for Lipscomb. He's an institution around here.
Kalala. Golden. Priest. Golden steps across midfield, and it's good timing on the free kick for Lipscomb, because had it not been called, could have set up a nice opportunity for the Bears on the counter. So if you're Lipscomb here, you probably just want to possess out these last 90 seconds, right? If anybody's going to get a good chance, you want it to be you.
No, and if it's their MO too, it's not like they're playing out of style by possessing it, passing it around, looking for a weakness in the Mercer defense. This is certainly something that they're comfortable with, and obviously with the clock on your side, you don't want to give up something before the break. Just kind of see if you find a crease, and they might find one here.
And Golden turns on the Jets, room to operate, and it's a good close down by Eldridge. As Golden working just to make life difficult for Pondeka there towards the end. Under a minute to go in the half.
How about the hustle from Golden? He plays up and down the field. I think I've talked about during previous games, that man just does not run out of energy.
And basically does 40-yard sprints back and forth throughout the course of a game. Here's Grossman. Plenty of space. Cuts it back. Sends Pondeka flying. Squared across for Cavalar. Could get it on his left foot if he wants, and it's straight into the belly of Trevor McMullen. Another shot on goal for Lipscomb, but with 25 seconds to go in the half, it just might do it for the first 45.
A little bit of a breakdown for Mercer defensively there. Nobody picked up Grossman, and he was able to switch fields quickly, get it to Cavalar, who, great looking shot attempt there.
10 seconds remain. Just trying to prevent one final opportunity, and they do. We're scoreless at the half, but it's been a fun one so far at Lipscomb in the final non-conference matchup of the regular season for both teams, Lipscomb and Mercer, with zeros on the board at the break. We'll be back for second half action on the Lipscomb Bison Sports Network. Ready for the second half at Lipscomb University, the Bisons and the Mercer Bears. Scoreless after 45. Lucas Panzica, Noah Severson with you. Noah, it was end-to-end. It was back and forth. The scoreboard not indicative of what happened on the playing field. Given what we saw in the first 45, maybe sets up for a little bit of chaos here in the final non-conference game of the season for both these teams.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we see a handful of goals here in the second half. Both Lipscomb's pedigree as a second-half goal-scoring machine, and then just the chances that both the Bears and the Bisons were able to create for themselves. You were spot on when you said that the scoreboard did not indicate how that first half went. There were plenty of offensive chances, and one goal might not be enough, especially if we see the same kind of tempo and attack that we saw from both teams in that first 45.
"19 of Lipscomb's 29 goals this season have come after halftime. So we'll see if that carries on through to the second half. They'll switch sides. Lipscomb in the home whites, purple numbers. Mercer in the road, black and red trim, coming up from Macon. And here's Bagayoko in the early onset. Golden on the goal line, just had it dispossessed for a Lipscomb corner, but fast start through the first 45 seconds for the Bisons.
Always interested to see what kind of adjustments get made at halftime, especially you just know the chess match that's going on. Two veteran head coaches, Charles Morrow for Lipscomb and, of course, Brad Ruzzo for Mercer. 14 years for Ruzzo at Mercer, 17 years for Morrow at Lipscomb. And you just know that they were scheming up some ways to get their teams on the board there in that halftime break.
That's battered around in the box, set up for Bagayoko on target, and a great save by Trevor McMullen to close it down with a diving effort.
How about the unselfishness there from Cavalar, recognizing that he didn't have a lane, a little tap back for Bagayoko, great shot, and just a better defensive play there by the sophomore keeper.
Just tried to slot it into the bottom corner. McMullen had it read all the way, the sophomore from Decatur, Georgia.
Kind of hard to believe that that's only the second save for McMullen all night. You kind of talk about, if you were watching that first half, how many chances Lipscomb had. They only put one of them on goal. Here in the first couple minutes, getting another shot on goal and testing McMullen.
It's Lipscomb's sixth shot of the evening. Mercer's had 8. As a free kick served up by Gaither is bounced up and into the arms of Sibley. Looked like he wanted to start fast there, but will backtrack and allow Golden to start the proceedings. Mercer comes in 7-6-1, 3-1-1 in the Southern Conference. Coming off a dramatic overtime win against Lipscomb's arch rivals, the Belmont Bruins, 3-2 just 3 days ago. As there's a nice combination between Nauman and Lopez. Maybe that'll get Lipscomb off and running. The Bisons 8-3-2, 4-2 in the A-Sun. It will take on Central Arkansas Saturday in a matchup between the top 2 teams in the A-Sun. You can catch that right here on our YouTube feed Saturday afternoon. Cavalar, Bagayoko. Lopez has Golden, serves it up. Golden across the 6, Spicer's there, but so was Pondeka. But Lipscomb's not done yet. The flurry continues as Lopez slips it ahead to Turner, who can't keep it in. Goal kick.
More great vision. A lot of good passes again in the attacking third for Lipscomb. They just have a lot of chemistry. They seem to always know where each other is. All those teammates kind of clumped in one area. They've got eyes in the back of their head. Great passing there. Quick passing to get that opportunity.
It's a Lipscomb team whose confidence hasn't really wavered all season, right? Despite some recent inconsistencies. Most recently was a 3-0 win against Jacksonville. Before that, a 2-1 win over Florida Gulf Coast. But before that, as it's squared across the 6 and out for a goal kick, 2-0 loss to North Florida. So it's kind of been that way, right? Win a couple, drop one. Win a couple, drop one. And as you get into tournament play, you want to be playing your best. But this team feels like it can achieve heights that have never been achieved with this program. And just saying something for a group that reached the Sweet 16 just a couple of years ago under Charles Morrow. Here come the Bisons. Lopez fires it in, glances off the post. And the Bisons strike first.
That was a beauty. Ferocious attack put together there by Lipscomb. Lopez at the top of the 18. Off the bar and in. You can't draw it up any better. You knew that they were knocking on the door, and not even 5 minutes into the second half, they go up 1-0 on a very talented Mercer team.
Second goal of the season for Alejandro Lopez, playing in only his 6th game of 2021. And the Costa Rican junior fires the Bisons ahead in the 45th minute. And now the pressure shifts onto the Bears. Another fast start for the Bisons, kind of like we saw in the first half. This time, it results in the ball nestling into the back of the net.
Got to go back to Javon Smith, too, who gets the assist for that goal. A great pass to find the feet of Lopez. And Alejandro did the rest. Uh-oh.
It's the 5th assist of the season for Javon Smith. Second in the ASUN to his teammate, Noah Golden, who leads the league with 6. Mercer trying to formulate something of an attack here. Inside the 18, Cavalar. And Lipscomb free kick incoming. As the Bears will look to punch back here.
We said it at halftime. I don't think that one goal is going to be enough, Lucas. Just the way that these two offenses have been putting up goals, Lipscomb would love to tack on another if they can.
It's only the 18th meeting ever between these two sides. They were formerly conference opponents. As Therese Spicer, with his left foot, gets it across for Smith, who was offside. Mercer has a good hold on the all-time series. 13 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws against the Bisons. So Lipscomb looking for only its 4th ever win over the Bears. They haven't played since 2016. Were conference opponents until Mercer left for the Southern Conference back in 2013.
Lipscomb has obviously been very good at home under head coach Charles Morrow, but haven't been very good at home against Mercer. They've played them now 9 times in the previous 8 matches. They've only beat Mercer at home once. A couple ties thrown in there as well.
So a bit of a familiar opponent for the program, though not so much for the players on the field who have never faced each other, at least at the college level. Dylan Gaither. Haven't said his name too much. The junior from Lilburn, Georgia, with 8 goals to his name this season, so that's a positive for Charles Morrow's group. His involvement has been limited so far. He drives it in. It's at the back post, and 2 different Bears had the opportunity. None could find the end of it.
I think there were 4 Bears that had an opportunity, kind of one by one like dominoes slid to try to get to that ball, and not one of those 4 could connect.
Looked like Kadeem Agard had the best chance at it and just watched it skip out in front of him. 37 minutes to go before the 90 minutes are up, so a ton left in this game for Lipscomb to defend its 1-0 lead, courtesy of Alejandro Lopez. Nauman, Bagayoko. Lopez beaten to the ball, but it's a Lipscomb throw. Lopez. Nauman. Turner. Makes the overlapping run. Spicer opts to go inside. Turner. Spicer. Well, it's once Lipscomb really settles into this possession in the opponent's half that you see their confidence at its best, isn't it?
Yeah, this is their mojo. This is what they like to do.
Golden had Smith there on the corner of the 6, but it was Eldridge who nicked ahead to it, and the follow-up is well wide. Nauman. Turner, the local product. Lopez unable to split Mercer defenders. But it's an opportunity for Nauman to create something here for the Bisons. It's at the feet of Smith, who gets a deflection and a good one. But it was closed off by McMullen. Looked like it was destined to hit that post squarely and maybe bounce right back.
Yeah, it looked like Javon's shot at first was going to be right at McMullen, and then it took that deflection off the shin guard of the Bear and made things a little bit more tricky.
Near side, this is Coxhead. Taking his time here as Mercer forms a crowd inside the 18. Sibley shouting out instructions to his defenders. Lopez leaves it there for Bagayoko, and a little moment of hesitation there as the whistle is awarded to Lipscomb. Kind of a tense moment anytime that ball is bouncing in green space inside of the box with nobody to it, but Lipscomb will be able to get away from the danger for now.
Yeah, pretty clear-cut high kick there to give the Bisons the free kick.
A Mercer sub awaits at midfield on the far side. Would be the first change of the half. You feel like there's anything missing from this Mercer attack right now that maybe Brad Russo would want to correct?
Just the ability to finish. I mean, you're creating plenty of good chances, and I mean, this is a really good Lipscomb defense, so there's really no margin for error. If you put a pass just a couple inches off of where you want it to go, especially in those tight spaces, you're just not going to get a good enough chance to get it past a keeper like Sibley. So really, you're setting everything up. It's just the inability to finish so far that's hurt the Bears.
It's kind of the case for Lipscomb in the first half, though Lopez remedied that with his 45th minute strike to fire the Bisons ahead.
Got to add for Mercer, too, you'd love to see them play more through Gaither. You know, he hasn't gotten a whole lot of touches. Maybe try to get it to number 10.
Cavalar. Nice lead for Bagayoko. Golden. Get another chance to corral it here. Bit of a miscommunication there. We'll hand Mercer the throw in, and here comes the change from the away side. Jabang will make his way back in. And he'll replace Dylan Gaither, who you were just speaking on. But I think you're right, though. Gaither is such a creative force for this team. Plays in the midfield. He'll drop deep, but he can score goals. Just hasn't really been there for him tonight. Jabang, a big physical presence that maybe could make something happen with the ball rattling around in the box.
Yeah, and Gaither will be back for sure. I think, you know, Ruzzo just wants to get him rested up so he's ready for the final stretch run. But Jabang is certainly another guy who's a playmaker. Just get the ball to him, let him create something.
4 goals and 5 assists this year for the junior from McDonough, Georgia. Smith has Spicer, slips it in nicely. Therese Spicer finds the back of the net, and Lipscomb's doubled its lead.
Smith again, Javon Smith, number 12, setting it up, his second assist of the night. And then Spicer doing what he does best. You talk about finishers. That is number 20, Tyrese Spicer. He knows how to finish. He takes advantage of the opportunities that he gets, and that's a huge second goal for the home side.
And Spicer, who got off to a red-hot scoring start to the season, scored a hat trick against Evansville early on in the campaign. Has cooled down a little bit since then, but he's right back on the score sheet with his 6th goal of the year for the Bisons.
Go back to that loss to Stetson. He did not play, and you could certainly feel the absence of his presence. Did not play in the first half against Liberty in that tight game here at Lipscomb Soccer Complex. Came in off the bench and scored the game-winning goal to give Lipscomb that 3-2 win. He is a special, special player.
William Turner, a state champion at Father Ryan High School, now a sophomore, has really manned that left back spot all season. So Spicer with the goal, and just 15 minutes into the second half, suddenly Javon Smith is tied for the team lead and the conference lead in assists with 6. Bisons are confident. Can they add one more here? Spicer back and forth with Nauman with the return pass. It's out for another corner, and the Bisons at this point have hit their groove.
Solid defending there from Brian Jackson again, that big center back. And I love that Lipscomb is keeping their foot on the gas pedal. I don't know how to play any differently. They're going to get in your face. They're going to keep up the pressure, stay aggressive.
Well, they know it's a Mercer team that can score. Just put up 3 against the Belmont squad that Lipscomb could only muster 1 goal against back in mid-September in a 1-1 draw. Golden with the corner. Head on it, goes wide. More changes for Mercer. Martineau makes his way back in. He replaces Kevin Kim. So another big goal-scoring target striker in the game for the Bears with a 2-goal deficit, both in the early stages of the second half. Bagayoko. Onside, squared up against Sibley, and slotting it home to slice the Lipscomb lead in half is a guard.
A perfectly timed run. Now Lipscomb is going to argue that he was off, and we don't have the benefit of replay to check if he was on or off. It was awfully close, though, just from the eyeball test. That's a huge response for Mercer here on the road to get themselves back into this game.
That is Kadeem Agard at a Snellville, Georgia, with his 4th goal of the season. It was kind of this moment of hesitation where almost the entire Lipscomb back line paused a bit, thinking it was offside. Even a guard stopped his run as he glanced towards the near side assistant. Flag stayed down. He kept playing, and at that point, everyone else was trailing. So Mercer jumps right back into this game with a goal from Kadeem Agard, his 4th of the season. Lipscomb not the only team here with a pair of twins that'll cause problems, as that ball is threaded through to Spicer and collected by McMullen. Kadeem Agard and his twin brother Sekou Agard have played just about every minute of this game, both of them freshmen.
Well, the second half has kind of started how we figured it might. Just knew that 45 minutes of scoreless ball was not going to be replicated here in the second half. All we've had is now 3 goals in the first 17 minutes combined here in the second half.
So the Lipscomb lead not nearly as comfortable as it was just moments ago. Turner. Spicer tried to send it down the line. A guard was there to close it off. The goal scorer recovering defensively. Still work for Mercer to do here. Lopez. The 20th goal surrendered by Lipscomb this season. For Mercer, it's the 26th goal scored. Nauman had Turner, but it was read well by the goal scorer, Kadeem Agard.
Mercer defensively trying to get on the same page. A lot of back and forth there between the 2 center backs and the midfield as they try to get on the same wavelength.
Lipscomb throw in. And, you know, it's an attacking brand Lipscomb plays, but you figure it's also conducive to protecting a lead given how much possession they're able to keep. And they're going to have to flex that muscle here.
Well, the only liability are the counters.
Sure.
Obviously not the best of touches right there from Martineau, but that goal that was scored for Mercer came because Lipscomb had so many bodies pressed up. They tried to set the line to draw an offside call, didn't get the flag. And, of course, an easy goal for a guard going one-on-one with Sibley.
Well, the Bisons won't sit back by any means. They're certainly going to look for that 3rd goal. Bagayoko. Good ball ahead to Golden, who just can't catch up to it. Missed opportunity there as it looked like Lipscomb might have had numbers in the box.
Yeah, lovely idea. And again, just a little too much juice on the ball, but you still get it in great position.
Change for Lipscomb as Lopez, the first goal scorer of the match, exits. Burl Shepard, the junior out of Colorado, steps in. The Elon transfer. Played the majority of the first half. There's a throw in. Skips into a clearance. Golden. Lifts it in the vicinity of Burl Shepard. Spicer whips it across. Dangerous moment there for Jabang. This is a guard. Playing it onto his brother. And the recovery from Therese Spicer. It's good work for Mercer here.
Really good work, and now they can kind of set up their attack. Comfortable possession.
So Lipscomb with a 1-goal advantage. And just over 22 minutes to protect it. Spicer able to track it down, but the touch carries it out of play. A guard brings it down, plays it back to his brother. Here's Gaither. Roaming into the middle of the field, and a bouncing ball into Sibley.
Again, though, really good sequence from Mercer. Great quick passing, getting it from the right side into the heart of the Lipscomb defense. Gaither, sliver of space there, maybe an ambitious shot attempt. Didn't really test Sibley all that much.
Opportunity for Smith. Trying to capitalize on a Mercer mistake, and it'll at least end up in a Lipscomb free kick. So the Bisons will try to create something out of this.
Yeah, and this is a juicy spot. I would not be surprised to see Nauman tee this one up and go for goal.
2 goals to his name this season, Luka Nauman. He and Golden stand over it. Just on the cusp of the 18.
Yeah, and the Bisons don't fall asleep in these situations either. If you're Mercer, even if you stop the initial shot, you got to play the ricochet. Things get chaotic with that many bodies in the box.
Of all Lipscomb's 31 goals this year, only 2 have come from outside of the box. A lot of those follow-ups from attempts like this. And it drifts. Remains a 2-1 game. So 70th minute. .22 total shots in this game. Had lively action as it continues with Therese Spicer. Weaving around a guard, and he almost drilled that into the near upper left-hand corner.
Lucas, he is a one-man highlight reel. So fun to watch. You just never know what's going to happen when he gets the ball at his feet. He created that by himself. He decided to go one on the entire Mercer defense, and he nearly fit that one snugly into the corner.
More good work from Lipscomb here, catching Mercer out in space. Spicer will have to come back for this one. One of the fastest players Charles Murrow has ever seen come through this program out of Trinidad. Shepard hit from behind. Another Lipscomb free kick coming.
That was Michael Ely throwing a little bit of a shoulder there.
Bison's tried to play it quickly, but they'll be directed to come back, set up a direct free kick. Shepard. Wonder if he'll just knock this back for possession. Does have Bagayoko on the far side. Golden with the overlap. Gets the feed. Space to send something in. Bagayoko scuffs it across. Ball bouncing outside the 18. Gaither's there. Kalala cleans it up. Back with Kalala. He has a go. And that's nearly bouncing into the tennis courts as Lipscomb will make a pair of subs.
Mercer caught sleeping a little bit there on the far side. Only one guy to defend those 2 Bisons, and that allowed, I think it was Nauman maybe, to kind of turn the corner. Might have been Golden actually over there on the far side and send that one into the box.
Marlon Grossman and Austin Marfell come in. Javon Smith and Bagayoko step out for the Bisons. Marfell, sophomore out of Warner Robins, Georgia. Playing the Mercer Bears out of Macon, Georgia. Quick collision, free kick coming. Certainly tense moments in the final 18 minutes, but you can't help but wonder if anybody's scoreboard watching over on the Mercer bench, given all the middle Georgia natives on the roster with the Braves playing
right.
game 1 of the World Series started about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, both squads with a lot of Peach State boys cheering on the Bravos.
Two-one here, under 18 minutes to go. Score is 2-0 Braves over there, in case you're watching this instead of that.
This Mercer team has been a great story, though, all year. Struggled a little bit last season, 4-9-1. They finished in 5th in the SoCon, and this year, I mean, they've got as good a chance as any team in that Southern Conference to make a run at things, especially come conference tournament time. Mercer will have a chance here this final weekend of the regular season to really make some noise.
And an opportunity tonight to keep a 4-game win streak going for the Bears. As Spicer lofts it in. Shepard touches inside, passed up the shot. And here come the Bears once again. It's recovered well by Turner.
It's a great tackle.
And here's Cavalar. Golden, so active tonight down the right flank. Mercer team that's won 4 in a row, that playing with so much confidence and momentum right now after a tough stretch there of 1 loss, a draw, a loss, and another loss. 2 of those in conference play, 1 at South Carolina, obviously a tough opponent in Columbia. But after that stretch, to respond the way they have has been a good sign for Brad Russo. Been the head coach of this program since 2008, became the all-time winningest coach at Mercer once he hit the 115 win mark. Corner kick, Lipscomb.
And you talk about what they're playing for this weekend. If they beat Wofford and UNC Greensboro manages to lose, Greensboro's at ETSU this weekend. That would be a huge upset if the Buccaneers can knock off Greensboro. But Mercer would be the regular season champs. They'd have the #1 overall seed, which is just remarkable considering what all they went through, especially in the spring, and then to come into this season, have that huge win over Belmont, their last time out, competing here with a really good Lipscomb team as well.
Squared up nicely for Golden by his brother. Lipscomb keeping the danger alive. They'll have to go back to Kalala, who wants to send it right back into the heart of the Mercer box. A guard. Try to create a foot race. And probably a smart foul there by Austin Marfell to prevent any Mercer counter. But really amazing to think when Mercer and Belmont playing in overtime just 3 days ago. Belmont just 1 golden goal away from clinching that conference title. Mercer, of course, got the win courtesy of the game winner by Trevor Martineau, who's in the game now, big number 9 up top. And now just a few days, Mercer could be playing for that #1 seed. It's been a fun season in both the ASUN and the SoCon this year.
There's no doubt. It's hard to understate just how massive that win was for Mercer. That is a season-defining win to take on the Bruins like that and win in overtime, a really gritty W for the Bears. We talked about a couple times in the first half how important it is to be playing your best soccer at this time of year, and that's certainly what Mercer is doing right now.
Offside flag gives Lipscomb the free kick, again deep in its own half. Was scoreless at the break, if you're just joining us. Alejandro Lopez fired Lipscomb in front right after halftime, and then Therese Spicer in the 60th minute slipped one past Trevor McMullen. Both assists courtesy of Javon Smith, as that rockets him up to the team lead and conference lead on the year with 6 total. Foul. The vicinity of the corner flag will give Lipscomb Another opportunity to re-extend the lead.
Kind of sense a little bit more urgency from Mercer over these last couple of minutes. Obviously an eternity left to play in regulation, but some of these more physical challenges, especially outside the 18, you can kind of sense that Mercer is trying to step things up a little bit, create that intensity.
Delivery is placed well, but handled nicely by Eldridge. Lipscomb won't be in too much of a rush here over these final 12 minutes. Marfell had a path into the box. Believe a handball, and that is exactly what it is. Will give Mercer the free kick. And now you're seeing the Bears, Noah, like you said, pushing numbers forward, and that little extra step of urgency being instilled in them as we approach the 80th minute.
And you think Marfell is motivated playing Mercer? He's from Warner Robins, which is right next to Macon. He had this one circled when the schedule came out, that's for certain. He's excited to be out there on the pitch.
It's a nice weaving run here that's cut off for the moment, but Jabang surging forward. And Lipscomb can create something here on a counter of their own. Just couldn't get that last ball through to Grossman.
I love Shepard's energy. When he is around the ball, he's got that small frame, but he is so quick, and he does everything with purpose.
Marfell has an eternity to decide what to do with it here. Good exchange. Marfell was the one making the run. Turnover there from Lipscomb. Ely. '80th minute. Mercer trails by a goal. That's blasted forward. A guard is there, and he gets the glancing header down to himself. A little bit of trouble for the Bisons. Cleared away. Tense moment there. Kind of felt like everybody was a little flat-footed.
Yeah, I think flat-footed is the right answer. I mean, that ball was, before you knew it, it was in a blink of an eye up at the feet of a guard, and he didn't really have the best angle for a shot, but certainly dangerous all the same, and Bison's luckily able to clear it out.
Carlo Cavalar back out of the game for Lipscomb as they try to close this thing out, as he's replaced by Thomas Priest. So you mentioned the lack of Louis Robinson in this game. Also no Hayes Wood, who leads this team in goals. The huge one coming up Saturday against Central Arkansas, a battle between the top two teams in the ASUN.
That just makes it all the more scary, right? I mean, you're seeing how well this offense is clicking, and they don't have their leading goal scorer out there.
And they could be clicking a little more here as Therese Spicer has room, has time, directs it across to Marfell. Goes for a goal, and it's straight into the chest of McMullen.
There's a Marfell missile right there. Fortunate for Mercer, was right at McMullen.
Martineau uses that towering frame, just trying to direct it backwards towards a guard, but one right back by the Bisons. Golden has space here. Spicer with the chipped effort, just a little too much on it.
Gorgeous run, though, for Golden. McMullen was on his toes.
Turner has a man making the run inside. Opts to go for Marfell. And a nice backheel pass by Grossman. It sets up Turner. Cuts back to his right foot. And McMullen lying on top of it. Lipscomb just searching for that final combination that could put this thing away. Oh, still 8 minutes.
Really like what I'm seeing, though, from some of these second stringers. The energy off the bench, as Mercer might have something cooking here. But Grossman and Marfell both making things happen in the attacking third. Bringing the energy off the bench for Coach Morrow.
And if you're Charles Morrow, you probably want to avoid extra time, right? It's a non-conference game. Get out of here with a win. Don't force your team to play another 20 minutes or so in the cold. Just 3 days in front of such an important matchup.
I go back to that Stetson game. I know I've brought it up a couple of times. At the time, it seemed like a pretty bad loss. You know, Stetson was picked to finish last in the conference. Well, all of a sudden the Hatters have become one of the best teams in the conference. Not such a bad loss after all, but Bison's had a 2-1 lead late in regulation and gave up a game-tying goal with just 5 minutes left, ended up losing in overtime. They certainly remember that. They don't want another late breakdown.
High kick there. Couple of shouts for Lipscomb wanting the advantage, but either way, they'll have possession and be able to milk some clock. 7 to play. Lopez and Spicer, the goal scorers. It's a 2-0 lead after the 60th minute. As Shepard is set up here. Along the goal line, Marfell, and he goes straight into McMullen. What an opportunity there, and what a save by Trevor McMullen to keep Mercer in this game.
Oh, my goodness. Mercer on the ropes right there. That was a gorgeous pass on the ground. Managed to sneak its way through the Bears' defense. Found Marfell, and he let it fly. And McMullen, a huge save.
The crunching tackle wins it back for Lipscomb. Spicer, and the flag's up. Flag is up with 6 minutes to go.
I think Spicer was just enough offside to provoke that flag to go up.
Went wide anyway. Numbers will be pushed forward here. A guard, the goal scorer, gets past Kalala. Golden is there for cover.
Mercer's going to want that one back. A guard creating space and not the best of entry passes.
Spicer trying to track it down. Therese Spicer. You would think the game just kicked off with the burst of energy he still has on those long balls. '85th minute. Drawing closer to the 90. That could send Lipscomb on its way to its 9th win of the season. Martineau holding it up. A guard. It's a strong clearance there by Kalala.
Yeah, you'll take that if you're Lipscomb. Clock is on your side. You want to waste some time.
A guard. And that's good 1v1 defending by Honore Kalala. Mercer initiating the final push. Down 2-1, 4 minutes to go. And here it comes. Martineau with the backwards header. Sibley had it covered.
Just feel like Mercer is not exactly applying the same amount of pressure on the Lipscomb defense like they were earlier in the second half, and especially even in the first half when they weren't rewarded with a goal. There's just something missing here from Mercer, especially the latter portion of the second half.
How about the trickery from Spicer to keep that in play? Down the flank, Grossman squared up Marfell beautifully, but it's a good, strong clearance. And Lipscomb still trying to deliver the final blow.
I think he had a shot there, Lucas. I got to be honest, I appreciate the unselfishness.
Well, Turner had a shot, and it's a closing save by McMullen. Marfell, he's been active here in these last 15 minutes. Burl Shepard cuts onto his left foot. Grossman has a shot, and he puts this thing away. Marlon Grossman, his second goal of the season. And the Bisons should walk out of here tonight with win number 9 at home.
Lipscomb just putting on a clinic offensively. What a gorgeous sequence. Grossman coming in off the bench tonight, the freshman forward from Germany. And that was a beautiful piece just to put it underneath the arms of McMullen. And like you said, Lucas, that might give the Bisons enough breathing room to walk away with a big non-conference win. I mean, 3 second-half goals for Lipscomb. You knew that they were knocking on the door. We wondered if they were going to be able to keep up that momentum into the second 45. And whatever adjustments that Coach Morrow had drawn up on the whiteboard over there, they've certainly been working.
88th minute goal makes it another 2-goal deficit for Mercer. That will certainly send everything they have here in the final moments. Lipscomb looking for its 3rd straight victory. This is Seth Highfield, the sophomore out of Chattanooga, getting some time. With 2 minutes to go.
This is definitely more like the Lipscomb team that we saw at the beginning of the year when they were in the national rankings. Lost their way a little bit, but I think they've regained their confidence and they're really clicking. This is a really, really good Mercer team that they were taking on tonight. That should not be lost. And they have dominated this second half.
Best start in program history for Lipscomb. Talks from Charles Morrow of this potentially being a team that could go as far as any we've ever had here, in his words. Did hit some bumps along the road, but you're right, Noah. It certainly feels like this team is hitting its stride heading into the regular season finale on Saturday. As they're looking to put the finishing touches on this one. Offside flag is up. Grossman does bury it. And the Bisons disagree with the call. But as we enter the 90th minute, it will remain a 3-1 game. Lopez and Spicer put him in front 2-0 after the first 15 minutes of the second half. Kadeem Agard put the Bears right back in it, but the 88th minute finish by Marlon Grossman, his second of the year, puts this thing away, as with 30 seconds remaining, Lipscomb will milk this clock all the way to the end here, still in Mercer's half. And they want another one, don't they?
They do. I mean, you saw how hard they were arguing for that Grossman goal to count on the far sideline. You would have thought that the score was 0-0 with the way that they were so passionately trying to get that 4th goal on the board.
Final seconds, why not? Grossman will fire one well wide, and Lipscomb with a 3-1 win over the Mercer Bears, improved to 9-3-2 on the season. Mercer, they will fall to 7-7-1 and will head back to Macon to get ready for a road trip to Wofford to close out the SoCon slate. Lipscomb will be back on Saturday taking on Central Arkansas. Noah, you'll be on the call for that one. Highly anticipated matchup here on these grounds as they look to push for an A-Sun title.
Yeah, very well could be the regular season championship match, depending on how things shake out around the A-Sun. But Lipscomb, they're going to enjoy this win tonight. This was a very, very satisfying victory for Lipscomb, taking on a talented Mercer team. Bears will try to regroup, and they got a big one coming up against Wofford this weekend. Still plenty to play for them as they try to compete for a regular season title. But this was just a really well-played match by both teams. 0-0 at the half. We forecasted we were going to see some goals in the second half. That forecast proved to be true. And just a great non-conference win for the Bisons tonight.
Goal scorers Lopez, Spicer, and Grossman. Javon Smith with a pair of assists. And Lipscomb gets the win at home over Mercer, a final of 3-1. For Noah Severson, I'm Lucas Panzica, and for Tanner Hibbs, everybody here at Lipscomb, we will see you on Saturday when the Bisons return home to host Central Arkansas. But for now, good night.